Let's go. Are we actually on? You're here listening with Kayla
and Georgia,
bringing you real, raw and relatable chats on the Evolve to Thrive podcast.
Stay tuned because shit's about to get juicy as we dive into all things health, fitness, life and relationships.
Let's go. Woo.
Welcome back to the Evolve to Thrive podcast with Georgia and Kayla. We are so excited for today's episode because we have our very first guest. Coming off the back of last week's episode where we spoke about spirituality and everything that we learn about relationships and life, I think this guest is the perfect way to segue into all things spirituality. I'll let Kayla do the introduction of who she is.
All right, let's do it. So today we are interviewing the incredible clairvoyant Theresa. So she is absolutely insane. The things that you are about to hear are wild.
Crazy.
So stay tuned. This is going to be a long and well necessary episode for you to stick around for. So after discussing intuition and our past relationships last week, the importance of trusting your gut and the significance of the universe literally throwing what it needs at you, we thought what a better way to get Miss Theresa on for this episode to dive into a live reading with Georgia. So you are going to get a live reading from Georgia. About Georgia.
About me, all about me.
So you need to stick around for this episode. We also are going to be going through and asking Theresa a number of questions. So I've actually had 2 readings from Theresa before and she's bloody incredible. After the 2 readings that I had, I actually went and saw her a week ago and it was the perfect time for Georgia as well to kind of get an insight, and she was actually looking for one as well. Yep. So it's just been the perfect opportunity. So without further ado, please let us introduce Miss Theresa for this cracking episode and stick around for the whole ride.
Yes, it is a bit of a longer episode, but stick around and we can't wait to see what you think of it. Thanks, guys.
Let's get into it. Alrighty, so we have a few questions for you, Theresa, after doing the reading. So this is purely just for us to get to know a little bit about what you do and how you do it. And the very first question is, how long have you actually been doing readings for?
Readings, probably about 20 years.
Wow.
Maybe 25.
So how long, how old were you when you first realized, or what was the first interaction kind of with
I was 2. My earliest memory is the age of 2 as an interaction. I didn't realize.
And you remember that?
I remember that. And I did not realize the gift I had until I was about 15, 16, and that I was different.
So could you, when you're really, really, really young, you could see other things, or could you just feel it?
Both.
So describe to us what you initially saw or felt.
And were you afraid at the time?
God, no, not at all.
Yeah.
So I'm from Zimbabwe. So I was in Zimbabwe as a kid, and we were at my grandfather's hotel, and the family was there at a gathering, or at the old hotel, and we as kids were playing, and my 9-year-old cousin fell into a swimming pool, and at the age of 2 I sat on the edge of the pool and I held onto her, but I remember feeling someone come around me like that and help me hold her. And we were there for about 10 minutes and I just held her and saved her because no one else was around. It turned out for me that was Archangel Michael. So it was his wings coming around and holding on to both of us. And I remember feeling that white light, and it wasn't until I was older that I realised it was Archangel Michael, because he's one of my guides.
Wow.
And the sense of just, it resonated with me that it was Archangel Michael.
All right, describe to us then how you do communicate to, or how would you describe who you communicate with? Are you communicating with spirits, guardian angels, or like what is it that you, how do you describe it?
All of the above. So as you know, Archangel Michael's one of my guides. I'll have spirits come through, people that have passed over from the clients that I read, and they'll talk to me. I also have guides. Guides are either previous lives of your own, previous relatives of your own, and like random beings. Like one of my random beings is an Indian chief who comes to me. I don't know my connection to him. I don't need to know my connection to him, but he will just come and speak with me, and he will give me advice. How I get those messages, sometimes I hear it, I get a smell. So, you know, if I say, oh, grandma's coming through, oh my goodness, I smell lavender. People go, oh my God, you used to always smell like lavender. And they'll know who I mean, because for them, that's the confirmation.
That's crazy.
Whereas I can hear music and I'll go, oh, I'm hearing this song. Oh my God. Okay, that was the song we played at a funeral, or was that's his favourite song or whatever. Most of the time I get a real, you know, the vision things that used to click and look through and see slides. Yep. You know, those slide things.
Yeah. They kind of look like old cameras.
Yeah, the red things.
Oh.
Yeah. Anyway,
so you can see film.
Yes. So that's how it comes through my head. I get that.
That was going to be my next one. Is that how you see the images?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I feed it through my head like that, like one of those viewfinder. That's what it is.
So you can't see like a spirit like standing here.
I can.
Oh, you can.
I can.
And you can see full face, everything?
No, I don't always see full face. They never come to you the same way, because everything you need comes to you from their perspective as well as your guidelines. Right. So if someone's had a traumatic death, I used to see them as they were in that death, and I couldn't cope with that because that could be quite horrendous. They would come to me like that. So I've had to set boundaries and say, I cannot see that. So show it to me in another way. So that's when they'll show me a photo of them looking at their best. So I'll get a photo, but I'll get a sense of, oh my goodness, like I had it like an impact, or I feel like I got shot.
Yeah.
So I'll get the sense of what happened to them, but I don't see them as they died, which is better for me.
Yeah.
You know, it's quite traumatic to see someone.
I can only imagine.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And other times they'll sit down like I'm talking to you, as if, you know, and that was where I realised I was different in my teens, because I'd have a lot of them just sitting around talking and I couldn't distinguish between who was there and who wasn't.
This is what I wanted to ask as well. So let's just rewind to when you were 15 years old, sitting in a classroom at school. Do these spirits and things come to you just in the middle of the day?
Random.
Can you block it out? How do you tune into it? How do you turn it off? How do you switch in and switch off?
Especially when you're in your teens and you turn on your third eye, and they can flood you. They can just huge, right? Because from the time you're born to the age of 5, we're all natural receptors to this. So we are still connected with heaven.
So anyone can tap
Everyone
into this
before the age of 5.
So, okay, so how it works is from 0 to 5, you're still connected to heaven, angels, universe, whatever people accept, right? And this is why you'll see babies giggling and talking to somebody here, but you're there and you wonder who they're talking to or why they're giggling. That is because they're talking to their guardian angels. They're talking to, you know, Nana who passed away and is just making sure that, you know, she's playing with them. That is why. By the time you hit 5, your lifestyle, your parents, the people around you start influencing you with what is okay and what isn't. Some people shut it down. It's an imaginary friend. So then you shut it down because it's not real. Some people are very religious and don't believe in this, and that's fine. So their religion then takes over that.
Yeah.
And it shuts down. Other people are afraid of it or don't understand it, or the kid can't express it, and it just disappears. But you can always turn it back on.
Right.
You know, with a bit of work, you can always turn it back on if that's what you want to do.
And what would you say, what's kind of like the first thing that you do to try and, like, is it like meditation to try and, okay.
Meditation. You've got to get meditating. You've got to relax. You've got to go into that subconscious mind.
Yeah.
And that is where you start to meet your guides when you're at a point to accept it. You've got to be accepting of it. If you're afraid of it, it's really hard, because the minute they start coming to you, you go and freak out and stop it. So
that would be me, I reckon.
I think that would be me too. Like, I feel like I'd love to be able to do something like that, but I think there's something in me that would stop it.
Yeah, and that's perfectly normal, and that's because we have a fear of the unknown.
Yeah.
Same as choosing your path. It's the fear of unknown.
Yeah.
So do you think that someone like us at the age that we're at too, if we were to get into meditation and want to tap into spirituality a little bit more, it would come to us? Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But your version of spirituality to George's or mine will be different.
Yes.
Okay. Not everybody's clairvoyant. Not everyone's clairaudient. which means you can hear. Not everyone's clairsentient, which means you can smell. But your spirituality might mean you've got a guide, so you'll meet someone and go, I can't, I don't trust you, or
straight away.
You know straight away, I'm being warned not to work with you. That'll be your intuition. So that's how yours go. Others will be a case of, I had a dream last night, and then you have that deja vu moment a couple of weeks later, you're going, I had that dream.
Yeah, that's another question that brings to mind. So a lot of people will say they have reoccurring dreams, or they have dreamt something and then they think that it's come true or whatever. Is that linked to that side of?
Yeah, absolutely. Because for some people, they can only accept it when they're dreaming rather than sitting here and going, oh.
Because you're brought up to kind of.
There's a fear factor in it.
Yeah, and you what am I trying to say? Like, you're brought up to kind of block stuff like that out. Like, it's not real, and it's not like, so as soon as you have an experience like that, you're like, oh, it's just a dream, or it was just, do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So to the people who think that this stuff is super woo-woo and they don't believe it and it's not real, what advice do you have to those people?
I don't have advice, but I love it. I love it when they say that to me, and then I go, slam, have that. And they'll, oh.
Like, you would tell them something that you see?
Yep. And I've had a grown man stay at my house. He was a friend of my partner, and he thought he'd play that game with me, so I played my game back. He cried. He slept for a couple of hours, and he got up and left the house and never came back.
Oh, wow.
We've never heard from him since.
Explain what happened. So explain what you saw and what you told him versus what his beliefs were and what he didn't believe.
No, it wasn't a case of his beliefs and whatnot. He was absolutely 100% not against psychics. He didn't believe it existed. He didn't believe I could know. I then got a message about something that only him and his wife knew. No one else in the world knew about it.
I love that.
And I went, and this happened, and this happened, and he turned white and cried.
Wow.
There's no way anybody knows that. I go, well, there you go. And I've never met his wife. I'd never met him before. And like I said, because he'd been drinking, he had a quick sleep on the couch and he disappeared, and we've never heard from him since.
Yeah.
If you're in a state where, like, if you leave here today because you've done a reading on me, and you're probably in a mental state or
zoned in.
Yeah, zoned in. So if you leave here, can you kind of, like, if you step out onto the street, can you read everyone's at the same time, or is it just like you have to be in a...
Right. So this is the thing. When I was in my teens, I didn't know how to control it or what to do and put in my boundaries. So, yeah, it would literally be like Burke Street.
Wow.
Okay. And again, sometimes I couldn't define who was really there and who was spirit, because they were like as clear as you are. And that's when I started noticing that I was different, because I'd be talking to kids in class and they were going, oh, psychic this, psychic that. And I'm like, I knew about psychics because my mum was right into it, but I hadn't realised that that's what I was doing because it was just normal for me. So that's when I started to realise, oh, that's what I am. I'm a psychic. There you go.
When was the moment you started tapping into this and starting to actually pursue it as a hobby and as a job?
When I was 21.
21?
Yeah.
Okay. So did you just start doing readings on your family or friends or?
Pretty much.
Yeah?
Pretty much. And I started with tarot cards, and then I went to psychometry, which is using jewellery. So something that you always wear, blah, blah, blah. So I started doing that. And then from the psychometry, because I was constantly doing this, came the pacing.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah, the way in which you tap into it.
Yeah.
So usually when I've gone to see you, you've stood up, you walk around, you pace around, and you get messages. Is it different when you're sitting here like this?
For me, it is. I like the movement because the energy flows.
I was going to say, is it more intense?
Oh,
it's more clear.
I throw it at you like that. Whereas I've got to sit here and I've got to actually concentrate more.
Okay.
It's still coming through, but when the energy's flowing like a river from me to them, it's just out, it's out, it's out. I don't think we got quiet spots when I read you. It just keeps coming.
It keeps coming.
It's probably more like a energy flow or like a conversation that's been had.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I get more like, let's go. And it's slam, slam, slam. Oh, question, okay, slam.
Yeah.
And it just keeps coming because for me, it's the energy flow.
Yeah.
But that doesn't work for everybody else.
Yeah.
I just find that flows for me and I'm comfortable with that and I relax with that. With this, you get the quiet spots, I've got to talk to them. okay, right, now this.
Yeah.
Whereas I don't have to stop for that. I need you to tell me something or have a conversation.
Do you think that the messages and how they're delivering the messages to you are different when you're like this, as opposed to it's still the same?
Still the same.
So sometimes you can get confused on what they're kind of trying to,
Because like an example, I did a reading years ago and I'm like, that's really weird. I'm sorry, but they're showing me a canary eating peanut butter. Right?
How random.
Very random. She burst out laughing, then crying. She goes, they had a canary and fed it peanut butter.
Wow, I love that.
Right? To me, it was like,
that's so random.
that can't be right. And I was questioning it. I stopped and I kept coming back. So I learnt from that. I've got to just give it how I see it.
Yep.
And then we work through it as we did today.
Yeah, and then the dots are almost connected.
Yeah.
I've got a question in relation to, let's just say somebody wants to go see a psychic or they want to go see a medium. For people who are unfamiliar with the different realms of this work, would you like to describe a few different types of, I guess, psychics that people go and see? What would be some green flags or red flags in selecting someone to go and see as well?
That's a good question.
All right. I know today I did ask you, I stopped at one point and asked you several questions in that regard. However, that was because I'd given you something and you weren't getting it and I couldn't go further. So I was like, we've got to make it work because they're not moving on. If you go to a psychic and they're like, so have you got any questions for me straight off the bat? Well, I want to know if I'm going overseas. Well, yes, you are.
Yeah.
Because you're telling them what you want to hear.
That's another reason as well, sorry to cut you off, is like I tried to hold back a little bit with some of the answers because I was like, I want you to tell me.
Work for it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And that's it. Generally, it's when there's a stumbling block and neither one of us can budge. That's when I'll ask the questions. And I do ask to keep the answers as simple as you can.
Yeah.
Right? And that's why I clarified. You said they lost a baby girl at 10 days. So you've told me that. So I'm not going to come and use that now. If they show it to me, it's too bad. You've said it. I don't need to bring it forward.
Yeah.
And that's why I drew attention to that. If I have a stumbling block or what I'm seeing doesn't quite work, I will question. Anybody you go and see that is just question after question after question. Okay. All right. I'll give you that answer. To me, I believe you're feeding them. So it's hard to trust the answers you're getting because you are only being told what you want to hear.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is another thing because a lot of people, you'll say to them, oh, I went and saw a psychic, and they're like, how do you know they just didn't search you up on Instagram? How do you know they just made it all up and da-da-da-da-da? Anyone can say that you're going to have 3 kids. Anyone can say that you're going to go do this with your job. Like they're just kind of playing a guessing game and telling you what you want to hear. So navigating that, because Georgia and I find this stuff really fascinating, but sometimes communicating it to the general public, they're like, you're fucking crazy.
Yeah.
You're batshit crazy.
And how do you with that, it's like, how do you find before you actually do a reading with someone, how do you know who's good and who's not? It probably comes back to word of mouth and like.
Word of mouth. Also, I can't even say if they've got a long waiting list, they must be amazing, because I don't think that validates a person being amazing. I just think that's someone who advertises and gets out there more.
Yeah. Okay.
You'll feel driven to go to that person.
Yep.
Right. If you're looking for a psychic and you just pick up and go, I'll just take them.
That'll do.
I don't think that ends up in a good result.
Yeah. Right.
I feel it's a case of you are led to them, as Kayla was. She was at a camping site where you're not looking for a psychic, and voila.
Yeah.
Right? And she was led to me. And then ergo, it's come down the line.
Yeah.
18 months later?
Yeah.
To you.
Yeah.
Okay.
How ironic, the time that you needed it the most.
It's so funny because we were going to say this before, like I was talking like with people at work about getting one done for a couple of months, and then I remember coming to you and we were talking about it, and you're like, oh, I've actually just had one. We should get her on the pod. So
ironic, especially someone like you. You're not someone who puts it out there for the world to see. You almost do this as like
anonymously.
You're not publicizing it over on the internet and trying to, market it.
No.
It's more so just word of mouth, people coming to you. So do you have another job as well that you do full time?
Yeah, I'm a full time in the freight industry. I am.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So how often would you do readings, would you say, at the moment?
I leave myself open to do readings once I get home from work. I might be able to fit in 1 or 2 depending on the timing and what's going on in family life. And then I'll do a couple over the weekend on a Saturday or Sunday. Again, fit around my family life. If it got to the point where I had them lining up at the door, then you would restructure whether or not you need a full-time job or you know, whether or not it's good for you and it's good for them, you know?
Yeah.
But again, like the difference between a clairvoyant, a medium and all of that, mediums speak to spirit. Clairvoyant speaks to spirit. A psychic or someone who just throws the cards might just use intuition but not actually hear from spirit or see spirit.
Okay.
What are your thoughts on the tarot cards? Do you find them useful, beneficial, or?
Oh yeah, I think they're useful in the fact that it's a tool to open up the space, and it's a tool to guide a person, especially if you don't hear spirit and you don't talk to spirit. You've got a guide. It's still being a useful tool because it'll give you, you know, you've got your major arcana and your minor arcana, and it'll tell you, okay, so the 3 of swords means X, Y, Z. So if you throw that, you've already got that going, oh, right. So you're going through this at the moment and this is what this is showing you.
So you generally find those cards will come out based on.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Even down to the point when you shuffle and one falls on the floor, that's the one you need.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is driven purely by energy, and you can get a pack of tarot cards and do it yourself now because it's driven by energy.
Let's unpack the energy side of things more. So when, in terms of energy that comes through for you, how do you read and tap into these energies with regard to the messages that you communicate back to the person that you're having a consultation with? Is that what you call it?
Yeah, let's go with that. Well, it's really funny because I don't have an on-off switch, and it's not like I have a dial-up, right? It's just because of what the gift I have. If I know I've got a client, like I said, I got Georgia, and that was this morning driving here, probably 10 minutes before I met you. And as soon as she said Georgia, my heart went, my chest went. So I'm like, Georgia, okay, focused. They know who you are. They know who I'm seeing. I don't.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're already preempting what's coming, so they're prepping it.
It's so interesting, isn't it? It's so interesting.
Yeah.
I was thinking about this on my way here too, actually, like in terms of just like spirituality and like tapping into your third eye, and like I know things like mushrooms and psychedelics and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Have you ever done that and then done a reading, or does that come hand in hand, or? Okay.
I haven't done that.
Yeah.
Let alone done it with a reading.
Oh,
God, that could be crazy.
That would be an intense reading, wouldn't it?
It would be very intense, especially depending on what comes through. From what I get, psychedelics can be a real like, whoa. But for some people using like weed and stuff, it relaxes them to the point that their subconscious opens.
Yes.
And that's what your subconscious needs to be aligned and open to this.
Yeah.
So that's how that helps them.
Okay. Yeah.
Right? If you can't shut off and you can't open up your mind to allow it in and accept it and work with it, those things will help that because you have no control in it.
Yeah.
It just naturally happens. That's why when you're asleep and your subconscious is in control, you'll have these dreams that will give you guidance or your deja vu moments.
Yes.
Because your subconscious is there, you're not in control of it.
Yeah.
And this is why if you're not psychic, you can still say, Nana, I need your help. Give me guidance. Like, do I take the job? Do I not? And when you dream, Nana might come to you or a dream might come to you that shows you don't take the job.
Yeah.
So if I were wanting to talk to someone who had passed over and I wanted to communicate with my grandma or my grandfather or whoever I know that's passed away, do you generally think that these people are watching over you and they're with you present?
Hells yeah.
During,
Do you know what's funny on that? So long story short, I used to be a flight attendant, and on my very, very first flight back after COVID, I had this person that I was working with. Have I told you this story?
I don't think so.
So I had this person that also I was working with Jetstar. So I'm based in Melbourne. He's based in Gold Coast and in Brisbane. He flies out there. I've never met him in my life, never spoken to him, didn't even know he existed. But I had to go and work out of the Brisbane base for a few days. So was sleeping there for a few nights. Anyway, this one flight in particular was a Hobart return. So from Brisbane to Hobart back. Anyway, on our flight back, he was just like, oh, like, have you had a grandma that's recently passed away, like 1 year ago?
You have told me this.
Yeah.
Yes.
And where was I going with this? There's a reason I just brought this up.
Because he saw your grandma.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, my grandma. So the first thing he said was that, like, my grandma is constantly with me. And then it was funny because as soon as you started speaking, you're like, yeah, your grandma's here trying to communicate.
Why am I getting goosebumps right now?
Yeah.
That is confirmation. See? Confirmation is true.
Well, okay, can you please explain this? Because there are a few times during this reading that I was getting like full goosebumps.
Yeah.
That is because the energy resonates with you, and it's true. That's vibration. That is vibration.
That's confirmation.
And confirmation.
I want to, like.
Did you get any of that during the whole reading?
Yes. Yeah.
Were you getting this?
The very first thing about the with my parents, like I felt that straight away.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then with the core stuff and like going on that way, I felt it with that as well.
Yeah. So when you get those moments, take notice.
Yeah.
They are the ultimate answer of yes or no or whatever the question
So
is.
if me and Kayla want to start tapping into this,
Yep.
the first thing you'd suggest is trying to meditate more. Anything else?
When you start doing that, ask a question.
Yeah.
Just sit on your own.
Yeah.
And just go through question cards of, say, a thought for the day or okay, am I going out this weekend, yes or no? And listen
Like
to what your
simple
body
questions.
says. Simple questions. You might already know the answer, but listen to what your body says.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So you're suggesting for us to talk out loud to ourselves more.
Yeah.
And things will come to us.
Yeah.
It's funny though, because I always say this, like whenever there's something I feel lost on or confused with, because I've been trying to meditate a lot more and I know the answer deep down. Like your
absolutely.
body tells you
Yeah.
the answer to things.
But it's like with your health. You know with your health what's good for you and what's not.
Mm.
And you can feel if you've eaten something you shouldn't have eaten, your body lets you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Right? Right? Now, I didn't need to go there, but yes, it will let you know straight away.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Your body is smarter than you give it credit for.
Absolutely.
And our intuition is extremely strong.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Should we head to the rapid fire questions?
Yeah.
So
There was
we've been-
actually, hang on, there was one question that I think I wanted to ask and I just need to find it. I actually have
astral
completely forgotten it.
projection.
Was there a question that you missed?
Have you ever done that?
What's that?
Astral projection?
Astral travel.
Yeah, astral travel. Have you done that?
Yeah, I've got to.
Have you?
Yeah.
Hey, explain
Wow.
it. Explain that to me.
You do a better job at
I want to
explaining
hear
it.
your explanation first.
So astral projection is like when your subconscious mind can actually
Take you somewhere else.
take you somewhere else
Right.
and have an experience somewhere else, and it feels real, and it's an out of body experience.
That's exactly right.
And you've done that before?
Yeah, I
And you
travel
can-
between past, present, and future. And
I feel like we're not done with the questions.
Yeah, so
I feel like we're
and
not
this is
done
it
with the-
because, and also, I mean,
like what's reality and
This-
what's not.
right, and this is where people lose you. This is where you lose them because it sounds like you're an absolute nut job,
Yeah.
right? Because there are alternate universes. So there's a Kayla and a Georgia and a Peter and a Theresa living and doing this in an alternate universe,
In one dimension.
right? And that is what energy work is about. That is what opening up your mind to all of this is about. And you don't have to believe it all, but you've got to be open to what they show you. Because if
Yeah.
you shut it down, any sort of inkling of it, then what's the point?
Can we ask you what your thoughts are on your past life, present life, future life, and what we think ours
Oh.
are?
And do they all align?
Okay, so everybody has X amount of lives in them, and it comes back to reincarnation and things like that. And I do past life work on people as well, and healings, as you know. So everybody at one point their life, they have to be an utter arsehole. Everybody. Okay?
Interesting.
Because you then have to make it right in your next lives and learn your lessons. And you can't learn lessons if you're a pure being in each and every life.
And you work
Nobody
out
is
how many
perfect.
lives you've had?
Look, this is where the judge and jury are out, because some people believe you only get 7 life cycles and that's it, you're done. I've done readings where it's like 15 lives back.
Like a cat.
So it's like, I think everybody's journey is different. Me personally, I believe you keep coming back until all your lessons are learnt. And once you've learned every single lesson that is for you, you then move on to the next realm, dimension, whatever. That's my belief. Your belief is yours. I mean, Buddhism has their own beliefs. Japanese believe that if you find a stray cat, it's a lost soul. You take them in and you help them go and move on. So it's all about your belief system.
Yeah. So do you think that our lives are all planned out for us?
I do.
Yeah.
From the day you're born, you have a map. They know who's going to succeed. They know who's going to succeed.
And who's they?
That would be universe, spirit, God, whatever entity you want to have it as. Right? Everybody believes a different being.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Some people believe it's aliens controlling us. I mean, I'm not here to tell you what you believe and what you don't, but
The higher power.
The higher power has mapped it out. This is why some people, you make that comment, they were born to succeed. Just know it with some people, right? You get these young people coming up that are geniuses and they're playing concertos at the age of 9. That doesn't happen to everybody.
Yeah.
But that is their path. I mean, who looks at their brand new baby and goes, by the time you're 9, you're on the stage. Some people just have that. Some people are saving the world and things like that just inspire us and are in awe. That is already plotted out for them. And no matter what they did, that was what they were going to do.
It's so wild, isn't it? I love talking about this stuff and just.
It's funny because you listen in and you go, we'll probably listen back to this episode and go, we sound crazy.
Yeah, but
but I also think that it's just really fascinating.
And there's a lot of people that are interested in it.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that are interested, and there's probably a lot of people that can tap into it as well.
Absolutely. And a lot of people are afraid to say they're into it because of the judgment. A lot of people don't know that there's more than one, more people out there that believe them than they realise. Other people don't explore past this bit. This is what they think is psychic, or this is what they think is clairvoyance, and they don't realise there's more to it.
And it comes back to, again, like growing up and being told that stuff like this is not real, and learning to shut that off, so you don't really have the chance to kind of explore it and go deeper.
Yeah, because a lot of times kids have imaginary friends. Potentially it's their little soulmate that comes along for the journey, or their guide that is there with them. And because you can't see it and you can't hear it, it's not real. I've
seen a lot of TikToks actually lately of children just saying, it'd be like their mother filming them and they're like saying goodnight to someone in their room, and the mum goes in there to film, and there's like no one in there. The child's just speaking to someone, and the parent will be like, who are you speaking to? She's like, oh, the person that's sitting just up there.
Yeah.
I've seen so many videos like that on TikTok.
And that's just it. Like, I mean, I know of people who their kid was talking to the grandparent, but the grandparent was passed before the child was conceived, let alone born.
Yeah.
And they've gone, well, who's that? And they got up and they walked out and they pointed to a photo, and that was who they were talking to.
That's
wow. There was one question that I had to ask. There's a few, we could go on for hours, but I want to know, what is the worst reading that you've ever done? And then the backup question to that was, what was the most fascinating and interesting reading you've ever done? Like is there an interesting experience that you can share with us about a reading that you've done?
Okay.
That's just out of the park wild.
Right. Worst as in it was horrendous and horrible what came through, or worse as in it was a really bad reading, like shit?
That horrible experience.
Okay. Right. So I did a reading where the family had been abused traumatically, and it all came through, and it just broke several people down because it had been ignored and nobody believed them. So then to have that all come up and name and shame and give
this
examples.
Was a family.
Oh, the whole family.
And give examples. It was a couple of siblings and someone else, a family friend. And to sit there like you are here and it's just blah, 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 blah. That was impactful. And, it was emotional, obviously, but for them to then have someone believe them, it empowered them in some way. It also it was an acknowledgement that real, and that was hard because it was graphic for me.
Wow.
Oof. How long ago was that?
Oh, maybe 11 years ago, 12 years ago.
Yeah.
So that was
Wow.
quite, yeah. And that, like, readings and stuff don't drain you because it's not your energy you use, but that emotionally drained me.
Yeah.
Do you feel like a sense of guilt? Like, not a sense of guilt, but like when you're telling them that message and you see them breaking down and you see like
No.
chaos starting to happen?
No, because when that happens, you know that it's needed. That's why they're there.
Yeah.
It's whether it's a healing, whether it's an acknowledgement, whether it's some people just cry because of the energy in the room, knowing that Nana's standing there and they feel her, but they don't know how to express it, so they just cry.
Yeah.
So there's a joke in my house that, you know, you better get the tissues.
Yeah.
Most people come through the door and end up crying.
Really?
Most of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because that's the thing. It's like sometimes you don't know how to express how you're feeling, so it's just tears.
Yeah.
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 What about the worst experience, as in like something really traumatic or bad that has come through? Do you always share the bad and the ugly?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But
That's a part of it.
I'll start off with, right, I'm getting a sense of abuse happened to X. And I'll go, yeah. And I'll go and I'll continue, and it's the acknowledgements and everything like that. I won't just go, so Uncle Ben did this to Tom, and, you know, I'll open it gently, because if they're not receptive to it, there's no point pursuing it, because that's just, it's not going to be well. It's not going to do well.
What about like things like death? Has, in terms of someone coming in and you get a message that's like someone really close to them is about to die or something like that, would you just not share that with them?
Yeah. I believe.
How do you navigate that?
All right. I believe any psychic worth their salt does not go, so-and-so's going to die. Right?
Mm.
Because think of it this way. I've just told you they're going to die, so what are you going to do? What's your reaction?
Mm.
You're going to phone them. You're then going to make them worry. You're going to worry. You're then going to create an issue.
Yes.
Of stress or lack of sleep, and you could potentially create their death by putting it out there.
I was going to say, then you start to manifest it.
Correct.
Yeah.
Right. What you'd say instead was, so-and-so's got chest pains. I need them to go and see a doctor.
So essentially what you're trying to tell me?
No, I'm not telling you, because
No.
I'm not being shown.
Yeah.
Right. The grand scheme of things, they will never tell me who's going to die when.
Okay.
Yeah.
The grand scheme.
Yep.
Right. Even my own family. I get a sense of it's not well, but so will you if you saw someone sick and go, yeah, I don't think they've got long. It's a human reaction.
Yeah.
But I have the difference where when they're dying, they will visit me. Their spirit will visit me, and I'll know this is it. This is their moment. That is the difference.
The spirit of, so that, let's just say my mum is about to pass away. She's really sick. You'll get a message of my mum's spirit. Is that what you're saying?
My family. So when my grandfather was going to die, his spirit came and visited me. When my gran was about to die, she came and visited me, and
that's how you know.
And that's how I knew. And I then got a phone call. I go, I know, Granny died. And they're like, what? How'd you know? Well, she visited me. I was driving the car through Anthony's cutting and she visited me. So I knew. And that happened.
Wow.
Wow.
They will visit me and they will say goodbye. Friends I've been at funerals of, their spirit will walk past me. If they have a need to walk past me and tell me something, they will come and tell me something. If they're at peace and everything's great, I get a goodbye and that's it.
Get nothing. So basically you'll get the signs if there's a message that needs to be delivered.
Correct.
And if there's no message that needs to be delivered, you won't hear or see anything.
Correct.
I love it. It's so interesting.
But
it's
if I
so
told you,
interesting.
like I've told you now, someone needs their chest checked.
Yeah.
You take it to them and they go, bugger off, load of bollocks. And they die 12 months later from lung cancer or whatever, collapsed lung. That was their choice.
Yeah.
And that is okay.
Yeah.
You've been given a warning and you choose.
Yeah.
Right? But if I was to say to you, oh, Tom's going to die, he doesn't get it done, well, then what? What's that going to change?
Yeah.
What, they're suddenly going to jump to attention or they're just still going to fob it off because I'm an idiot?
Yeah.
Right? What it does, it makes you worry. Makes you worry and worry and worry, and then you get sick.
Yeah.
Right?
It's a domino effect of just
it's a domino effect.
bad stuff.
Absolutely it is.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And it's not about that. You've still got to live life, because their path is they're going to die in 6 months. Your job is you live your life, and if you choose to spend all your time with them normally anyway, you're going to have no different outcome.
Yeah. Everyone's past already laid out for them, whether you're going to die 6 months, 12 years, it's already laid out for you.
Correct.
Yeah.
See, an example is I believe it was my dad's cousin. Don't hold me to that. It could have been an Air Force buddy. He was in an accident, a motorbike accident. He was found in the ditch. He should have been dead because the helmet was suffocating him and they had to cut the helmet off to get him air. So effectively, he would have hung himself on a helmet, effectively. They then put him in the ambulance. The ambulance got in an accident and he died. He was meant to go.
Yeah.
Because they saved him in that moment. 10 minutes later, he was in an ambulance. He went because that was his time.
Really?
Yeah.
That same day?
So, yeah. They were taking him from that accident to the hospital and the ambulance had an accident and he died. He was meant to go. That was it.
That was his time.
It was his time.
Wow.
So you can't fight the big decisions.
What's meant to be will be.
What is meant to be will be.
Yeah.
Do you get can you tap into your own readings?
I throw the cards for myself randomly just to give me guidance. Number one, I listen to my intuition. Can I read myself like I read you guys? Hells no, because I don't want to hear that I'm not going to make $1 million and win tax lotto. I don't want to hear that, so I'm going to go yeah. No, any major decisions, like I've had 12 pregnancies and lost 7 children.
Wow.
Right, I have 6 living, but I've lost 7. At the start of that pregnancy, I don't go, oh well, this isn't going to work out.
Yeah.
You're still overjoyed by
you need to live your life too.
Yeah, and I don't get the okay, today's the day. I don't get that moment.
Mm.
And then you just go, okay, we're losing the baby, and then you live with that. You just get it. You wake up that morning like any other mother, and if you're losing that baby, you figure it out. And if that baby's okay, great. I listen to my intuition when the doctors are arguing with you about your baby's not well or your baby is well or you're telling them you're not well. I listen to my body and you fight for that. But yeah, I don't get the heads up, you're having a boy, you're having a this, you're having a that, And watch out, don't get in that car because it's going to have an accident. I don't get that. I have accidents like everyone else.
I think that would be like
too much
if you have that and you're too reliant on something.
Yeah, but you wouldn't live.
No, you wouldn't.
No,
you wouldn't live.
You would literally just be guided by that voice.
However, I do get like he's now 20. He when he was 14 started having palpitations of the chest, took him to the doctors, spent 2 years fighting to get him looked at. I had this inkling that if I didn't, he would drop on the deck out in the field. He would just die. Right? And he played baseball. 2 years later, I took him to the doctor again. She was wonderful, did all the tests, listened to me, did further tests. He ended up in the children's hospital. His heart monitor failed after 4 hours. In that 4 hours, he'd had 300 and something episodes. Took him to the hospital. Children's took him straight in. We ended up surrounded by specialists, nurses, head nurses and whatnot. And he was talking and laughing as we are now. He should have been unconscious because he's on the brink of a cardiac arrest.
Wow.
So if I hadn't have pushed in that instance, they did say to me, if he hadn't have come in, he would have dropped on the field one day and died. Oh. So from that moment, we have to know where all the defibrillators are in town and where he's playing, on meds. Yeah. So I get that for my kids, but not for me.
Yeah.
Insane. Insane.
I think we could talk for hours with you. Like there are
I've already got a million questions that I want to ask you.
So many questions.
We can always do this again if the feedback's real. Like
yes,
yeah.
We'll have to.
What we do have a little thing in store for us with a rapid fire segment.
Okay, all right.
So basically, what we're going to do is we're going to ask you a few questions.
Okay.
How many questions?
I think there's 12 there.
All right.
There's
give it a
12.
whirl.
And it's just a quick
It's a one-worded answer, quick, whatever comes off the top of the bat.
Yes, no, okay. Oh, my God.
Yes, no, or whatever.
Fail or...
Sink or swim.
That's it.
All right. So, where's the mouse?
Georgia's just going to find the questions that she's popped up.
Okay. So, what was your first job?
A waitress.
Waitress. One thing you're excited for this year?
My son's coming home from America. First time in 4 years we see him.
Oh, that's so nice. Oh. Where is your happy place?
Disneyland.
Disneyland. Love it. I mean, we asked you this question before, but does readings ever scare you?
No.
Would you prefer in-person or Zoom readings?
In person.
Yeah.
Yeah, can do Zoom, but prefer in person.
Yeah. Palm or card readings?
Or card.
Card.
Can you do palm readings as well?
Yeah.
You're going to read my palm in a minute. So my friend, sorry, this is off topic, but
This is a weekly habit of
always
Kayla's.
do this. Kayla always ruins the rapid fire segment. So I've got a friend who can read palms. He's read my palm before. I want to get you to read my palm before I leave, and I want to see if it's different.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, true.
Okay.
Let's compare. Let's do
All
it.
right.
Again, we asked you this before, so maybe we'll skip that one about the bad reading about close family member.
Your most memorable reading.
Yeah.
I think that one with the family that was
Yep.
involved with all that abuse. Yeah, that one.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you fear? One thing that you fear.
To do with readings, having a blank slate. They're that closed off or don't believe that much that it just
Nothing comes through.
Do you feel if someone is so against readings or they are that against psychics and that they don't feel like it is believable, is that when messages don't come through for you?
Yeah, look, it's happened to me once, and that was many years ago. And I think it's because it's a case of, well, don't waste your time and energy. Don't waste their energy. Their energy is so huge to do what they do. Don't waste it. If you're not going to even take an ounce of it with you, don't do it.
Yeah. Yeah. Are you happy?
Yeah.
Love it. That's what we want to hear.
Georgia, are you happy?
I am happy.
Yeah.
Are you happy?
Yeah, I am.
I love it. We're all happy.
We're all on the good
Peter,
path.
are you happy? Peter's happy. Big thumbs up.
Are you scared of dying?
I'm not scared of dying. I'm scared of leaving my kids behind.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Do you actually, I've got an extra one. Do you ever wonder what it would be like for you being the spirit?
Oh, God, no, I'm going to haunt those little shits.
You're going to come back and haunt all of them.
That's it. That's where Mama Bear
You're
comes
excited for that, aren't you?
Oh,
I can
gotcha.
feel it.
in. Yeah, leave the alcohol on the bench. Mama's coming.
Yeah. And final last one.
Biggest thing you have learned from doing what you're doing?
Trust the universe.
Trust the universe.
God, yeah.
So the universe has your whole life planned out for you.
They've got your back.
They've got your back.
The good, the bad, the ugly, they have got your back.
That's the biggest thing I needed today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even in your worst moments, there's a reason you're having them, and it will get better.
Yeah.
It does get better. The reason you're having it is because you've got to take something away from that.
It's a lesson, right?
What are you learning from
Absolutely.
So every situation that you get yourself in that might be a hiccup or, you know, a bit of an obstacle,
Gotcha.
a shit situation,
Yeah.
it's happening to you for a reason.
Yeah.
Is that your takeaway from that?
Hell yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Like I've been married a couple of times, and my first husband was very abusive. You know, I've had a gun in my mouth and the trigger pulled, and my 2-year-old was watching.
Wow.
Right? I lived that. But the takeaway is we survived that. I stood up. I got us out of it.
Mm.
I protected. And I've moved on. He's held back.
Mm.
Your son
The ex.
or the ex?
Yeah.
The ex. He hasn't thrived in life.
Yeah, everything that
So
everything that
there's
you
a
go
lesson.
through is
Absolute lesson.
is a
And-
lesson.
Yeah. And now I'm highly alerted to the signs of it. People
Mm.
can't pull the wool, you know?
Yeah.
So that's a lesson. And that means that you can help someone who's gone through it. You can, whether it's a sign that, you know, you will get past it, it's okay. Or you can help them escape, or you can help them just talk to you about it. It's huge.
From an everyday person, this is the last question I think to wrap up.
Yeah.
From someone like me, day to day in my life, who isn't necessarily tapped into this stuff, but let's just say the universe is trying to give me a sign, how would that sign come through?
This is
As
one
someone-
a lot of people miss.
Yeah.
You see the same number over and over again. You might look at the clock.
Always hear this.
You might look at the clock and it's the same time. Every time you happen, oh God, it's 4:44. It's 4:44. It's 4:44. You'll see a number plate, 4:44. You know, you will see that number. Google it. Get on Google. Look on what the meaning of that number is, because I guarantee you it's a message. Right? You could be that. Your keys could go missing regularly. someone's trying to get your attention. They're trying to give you a message, right? It's not about keeping your keys in the same place. It's about pay attention to what's happening. It might be an anniversary of someone's passing or their birthday. Acknowledge them. It might be you're going through a tough situation and they were a prankster in life and they're letting you know we're here. We got
your
your
TV
back.
keeps randomly fucking turning off.
Is yours?
I don't know. I think my TV is just actually retarded, but like
No, they love to play with electronics. They love it.
blinds
Opening and shutting or up and down?
up and down.
Yep, they love it.
I get stuff all the time happening.
Do
to me.
you?
But that's the way you will accept it and take notice when shit like that happens, because you're so doing everything else that you don't stop, because you've got so much going on in your life and you're so buzzed up, focused down here. Unless they slap you, you got no chance of getting into Kayla.
Can we unpack this before we finish?
Sure.
So because again, people will think you're crazy, right? But if you've got like your blind, you're just sitting on the couch and your blind is coming down, like it just starts sliding down for no reason. Like what?
Yeah.
Or like there's been times when my TV just goes fucking spasm, but is it just my TV being crazy?
They're probably just trying to communicate
This
with
is
you.
the thing. Is my TV just
And this is where it's a fine line between, geez, you're a crazy bitch. No, if it happens regularly, and like I said, there's an anniversary, you're stressed out, you are needing something, they're giving you a message. If there's nothing going on that requires that, it could just be your TV's buzzing,
yeah.
right? But you will know the difference, because if you get that instant gut feeling, go, oh, who's here? Someone's doing it. That is your intuition going, someone's here. Attention.
So wild, isn't it?
Right,
It's
because
crazy.
if your power goes off, you don't go, oh shit, Uncle Tom's back. Right? You go and check the electrical box and put your safety switch. Oh,
Yeah.
the safety switch isn't off. Okay, everybody else's lights are on, and then your lights flick back on. You go, all right, I get it. And it could be a song you were listening to. It could be a TV show. Something resonates with what's happened.
My girlfriend had a number that kept coming through repeatedly over and over again. Actually, it was my friend Elise who also came to see you,
Okay.
and she was getting a sign that she just every time she checked her phone, it was the same time. Like at the same time, every time this particular thing would happen, it would be that same time on their phone. Yeah, it'd be
Wow.
weird.
And that's acknowledgement and a message.
Yeah. Oh my
Wow.
God.
Hey guys, this is just a quick disclaimer to let you know that we have put the reading Theresa has done on me here at the end of the video. So keep listening to see how she does her live readings. And like always, if you did enjoy this episode or you want to see more like this, give us a message on Instagram at Evolve to Thrive. Let's get into it.
Hi, Georgia. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. I've got to say, before I came in, once I heard your name, I started getting chest pains. So once I start honing into someone, the reading begins before I even see you. Okay. So in this instance, I'm getting a really sharp pain in here, which signifies someone who has a lung issue. So is there someone who's got emphysema or asthma around you?
My uncle died like 6 years ago with emphysema. That was
Okay.
a while ago.
Yep.
My parents are massive smokers.
Aha. Okay. So I haven't got a resonation of your uncle. If you had said uncle, I'd get a resonation and I know it's him. This is more to do with both your parents. That's why there's not an individual. One of them has now got to go and get checked, because I feel that there's an illness coming for them with their lungs. There's a weakness showing.
That doesn't
So
surprise me.
they need to go and get checked. They,
Yeah.
not one or the other, they. Okay. It's actually flagging. Sorry, I'm getting a message now. It's flagging as like asbestosis or something like that. It's an illness from something they've worked with, not the smoking. So they need to go and get checked. All right. And I'm feeling it here. So please pass that on. They will require treatment and a surgery.
Yep.
All right. And I feel, okay, I'm seeing black spots. That generally indicates cancer. I don't like being diagnosing anything. I am not a doctor, but I'm getting black spots on what I'm seeing. Okay. So they need to get checked.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me know how that goes.
Did you resonate when I said my parents?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. So I need them to go and follow up. If they do not, that is their choice, and they are free to do so. Okay. All right. There's a grandmother who's passed away who's here. Okay. I feel like she was more of a mother figure to you. Is that correct? So she took care of you a lot and was around you a lot?
We stayed with her, but not like we would go on school holidays and stuff like that and stay with her.
Okay, so she was a caregiver and you were close?
Yeah.
Yep. So she's coming through, but I see her holding a baby. So has someone lost a baby?
No.
She's holding a baby and showing me a baby.
No.
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 She's not moving forward. There's a baby.
No.
Okay.
No.
All right. Let's go with this. Is there a photo of her that is holding a baby? Like that's on display?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Let's go forward from there. Okay. She's giving me the number 3. Is there 3 girls or 3 boys?
There's 3 children.
3 children?
Yeah, me, my brother, my sister.
Okay, because she's showing me the number 3. 3 is significant for her. Was she one of 3 or did she have 3?
No, she had 4.
She had 4. 3 significant. Go back to 3. Again, 3 girls, 3 boys. There's a division. There's 3.
Mm-mm. Other than me, my sister, and my brother.
Mm-hmm. Is she one of 3? The 3 is significant and it's all to do with siblings and children. So it's 3.
No, it's just her and her brother.
Then no.
I think.
Okay, I'm asking her for more information, but I'm telling you the number 3 is significant. 3. Okay. And yeah, it's the photo of her holding the baby is important. So somewhere in the line, her 3, someone's lost a baby. So if it's not your mum, it might have been her, it might have been her mum. But someone has lost a baby. Now, whether that was through miscarriage or a birth.
Someone lost a baby, but it was on she was born and she was alive for 10 days, but it was on my mum's side, not my dad's side.
Someone's lost a baby. Thank you very much. There we go. It doesn't matter what side it is. She's bringing the baby through.
Okay.
Right? So she's brought it through as a photo. You acknowledge that. And then the first thing I said was, there's a baby that's been lost.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You got to look at the bigger picture. They're in spirit. Mm-hmm. They're not just focused on one side and one side only. Okay. So you've told me that she lived for 10 days. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. So is that the photo? Who's she holding in the photo? You remember?
Me.
You? Okay, that's why she's bringing the message to you. All right.
Yeah.
I keep coming back to the lungs. I'm getting cystic. Who's got cystic fibrosis around you?
No one that I know of.
Be mindful. Someone around you has cystic fibrosis. I'm feeling really chesty and full.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
They might be coming into your life or it's undiagnosed.
Yeah.
All right. And it's one of those, there's different, I suppose, realms of cystic fibrosis, but this one is just really phlegmy on the chest. So again, chest is coming through for you. So be very mindful. Okay. I've also got a knee injury, the right knee. Who's injured their knee? That goes to you, doesn't it? That's you. What did you get diagnosed?
So still, she's just no further follow up about her knee.
Right.
Yeah, but she was the friend that had the she needs surgery for her knee.
Okay. Was it the right knee?
Yeah, it was.
There you go. Okay. Thank you.
Wow.
They're taking me back to your childhood. Okay. And I'm just trying to see, there was a happiness about your childhood, but there was, who moved away?
Like when we were really, really little?
Yeah.
No one.
When you were young kids, someone moved away that affected you.
Oh, yeah. Actually, my auntie moved away.
Okay.
Yeah, my auntie moved away.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah.
Did that impact you? Because I feel like you were a really happy, bubbly kid and then something was missing.
No, it wouldn't be to that point. Like we were young when she like moved states.
Right.
But it wouldn't have, I don't think it would have affected how we were. No.
This person moving away affected you. It was like something was missing.
My brother went and lived overseas and then my sister went and lived overseas, but we weren't young kids. We were like in our early 20s.
I see young kids.
No. No.
I'm sticking with it. I see young kids, someone moved away and it affected you.
No.
No, I'm sticking with it.
Just trying to think. Moved away.
Yep.
No.
Because I'm seeing children running down the street and playing, really happy, and then I see a truck go past or a car go past, and then it's just sadness.
No.
Yes.
Nothing's resembling.
Ew. Resonate with you?
Not with me.
Resonate with you? Someone in this room, I'm seeing it, but I'm going with you. But someone's been affected by a person moving in their childhood, leaving. Okay, let's go leaving. Who's left? Sorry. This comes down to translation. Who passed away when you were little?
No one close.
Who passed away that impacted you when you were little? They don't have to be a mum, grandmother, father. Someone around you passed away. They're leaving. So the car could have been a hearse, but you've seen it as a moving van, and that's what I'm seeing.
The first person that passed away that was close to me, I was 17.
No, it doesn't have to be close. It has to be around you. It could be the bigger picture.
Anyone?
Okay. Yeah.
So did a neighbour pass away?
One
a
of my
friend?
mum's friends did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Someone that you were aware of?
Yeah.
Okay. How old were you?
Young.
Young.
Like grade 6.
That's right. So did you see it go past? Did you see a vehicle go past, or is it just what you felt from your mum?
She died of cancer.
Mm-hmm. But you didn't go to the funeral. It's just what you felt.
Yeah.
You did?
Yeah. Did I go to the funeral? No, I didn't go to the funeral. No.
Okay. So maybe
Seeing my mum like that.
it's impacted you. I'm seeing a vehicle leave.
Mm.
Okay. So just to clarify, this friend of your mum, how did it impact you with her going?
I think it affected me more seeing the people around me and how sad they were.
Okay.
I think that was like the first death that I.
Thank you very much. You've just answered it. It impacted you as a child because it was they left.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We got there in the end.
Yeah, and this is it. This is a cycle. It's not a guessing game. I'm interpreting the messages I'm getting.
Yeah.
So they will not move on until you acknowledge what they're trying to tell you.
Okay.
And it's up to me to try and figure it out. So I apologise. I started with a moving van, but it was a person moving.
Yeah.
Moving
that was
on.
probably the first experience of death close to me.
And it would have impacted you.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. Well, just so you know, they're at peace. Okay. They have 2 children?
Yes.
Thank you. One of them's gone on to be quite successful.
Yeah.
The other one's a bit flip-floppy?
No, they're both quite.
So why is she saying there's a difference between the two of them? Is one like an entrepreneur successful, or are they both like professionals?
They're both professionals.
Why is one flip-floppy?
I wouldn't say they're flip-floppy.
Well, she's showing me one's flip-floppy. Do they change direction a lot? Are they all over the place?
Yeah, maybe, yeah, a little bit. But
okay. And the other one is straight down the line.
Yeah.
Okay.
They've both just had children. They're both like settling down.
Okay.
Yeah.
So she's given me one's really straight down the line and one's flip-floppy. They're very different directions.
Okay.
Okay. That's the description I got.
Yeah.
All right. Whether that was their childhood or whatever, I don't know. But she's watching over them just so that you can pass that on if you choose.
Yeah.
As for you, all right, I see you changing direction.
To me.
I like to get it. It's like you're crossing a line like this constantly and changing which way you go, and it keeps bringing you back in the line. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right, so what are you missing that keeps bringing you back here and you keep trying to stray? Why don't you want to be on this line?
I think I'm just trying to figure out what I'm doing, where I'm going.
But if it keeps bringing you back down to this line, there's your answer.
Mm.
You just have to figure out what part of that line you want to be on.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't see you doing like a studying at TAFE or anything like that, but I do see some further education on a different scale. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Right. So whether that's like, and I'm not judging or guessing what your career is, but whether you have to do like a PT course or you have to do a first aid course and a something else course to bring it all together, do it. Okay. I don't see you doing formal class. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All right. But there's three things you need to do to bring it into line. Three courses you need to complete to bring it into line. So whether one knocks onto the next, does that make sense to you?
But yeah, very much so.
Okay. So that's what you need to complete, but you've got to do it in a certain order. You can't just do it all together. It has to be one after the other, after the other.
Yeah.
Okay. Once you've done that, the doors will open.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. And the timeline's you then. It's when you go and complete these courses is how long it's going to take you to have the doors open and for the success to fall in.
Yeah.
Okay. I see you also, you will travel. With the travel, it's a bit of column A, column B. Some of it will be to do with why you're studying and what you're doing, and some of it will be leisure.
Yeah.
Okay. And I see you getting married overseas.
Oh, okay.
I don't see you living overseas, but I see you traveling to a destination for marriage.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm getting European, so whether it's Italian or French Riviera type stuff, it's a very European
like
feel,
destination.
Okay. That's the feel I'm getting. Okay. Yeah. An elegant, simple and elegant.
Love that.
Right? That's what I get, even down to the fact that you just pick the flowers that morning and put it together with a bit of, string or something, and that's your bouquet. You're not into the fancy frills and whatever else in this occasion. Okay. Yeah. And I believe it's because on one of your travels you either fall in love with the destination, so that's where I'm going. Yeah. Or you meet the man of your dreams there. Yeah. That's the
connection to it.
Yeah. Okay. Got the question mark over man. Have you met someone already?
I'm like seeing someone. Yeah.
Seeing someone.
Ish. Yeah.
Ish. Okay. Okay. Question mark over man. Why is that? All right. Does that mean it's not a man, or does that mean you think this is the man?
It's not a man.
Right, thank you for clarifying. See, I just go naturally to a man and they pull me up, so I apologise for that. Yeah. All right. There you go. I'm getting told off. Don't make an assumption, Theresa. Okay. So is she?
Oh, sorry. No, like it's a man. It's a man, but I thought you were asking, is he your partner or is he not your partner?
No. That's why I'm asking, was it a man? Because I've got a question mark over man. So is it a female or is it a man?
No, it's a man.
It's a man. But you don't think it's the man?
Yeah.
Right, thank you. Okay, that's okay. I have to get, in these days, I've got to be sure what I'm getting.
You need to unpack this more with her.
Yeah.
I'm cutting in, but you need to unpack this situation with her.
A bit more.
Yeah.
Okay. It's not the man. All right, I need to ask a question then.
Yeah.
Why is it not the man for you?
I think so. I've been seeing him or been around him for about like a year and a half.
Okay.
And things are still very unclear. So I think I'm very confused on like where I'm at with him, where I stand with him.
Right. What's his first name? Share it, that's fine.
We can just bleep it out.
Aha, French.
He's not French.
No, but a French name.
Yeah.
Interesting. He's not yours.
He's not?
No. He's not yours.
I think I could, yeah, I think I know that.
He's a bit of fun and he's a life lesson, but he's not yours.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yeah, 100%.
All right. So you can cut that all out if you like. But yeah. Okay. Interesting. Who's he with?
Right now?
Yeah.
Cousin? Talk to me. Who's he with?
Okay.
What
So
are you saying?
you are not in a committed relationship. So are you free to see others?
God. No.
Is he connected to someone else or going through divorce or separation?
Not that I know of. Interesting.
Because I see a third party. So
Not
he's
that I
either
know of.
he's probably just as relaxed as you are about it, not knowing where it sits, and he's either dating someone else or there's something else from that is a bit of a skeleton in the closet he hasn't told you about. All right, don't go out.
Yeah, I'm getting this. I'm feeling this.
Yeah, okay, anxiety. Don't go at him like Psychic Sally. All right, and
Who is she?
yeah, no, I'm just getting there's a third party. So whether
Yeah.
he's just as confused about the situation and is just chill about it, okay, he's not for you anyway. So no harm, no foul.
Yeah.
All right. Different if there was plans. There
Yeah.
isn't any, and there's no clarity.
Yeah.
So just take it with a pinch of salt and
Yeah.
see how it goes. All right. But I don't get his for you. I actually see you need somebody who not only is clean cut, works out into their health and well-being on all spectrums, has a bit of a feminine side to him as well, but is a man. Like, you know you're safe with him, you know he'll protect you, you know he'll provide for you, and he'll respect you, and he'll also allow you to be you.
Yeah.
But it's something about working out together and having that adventure together is what really pulls you together.
Yeah.
All right. And that's probably how you meet. You're doing outdoor activities and happen to meet each other. All right. But he has a flavour to him. He's not Aussie. He has a flavour.
That's what we want to hear.
All right. So he has a flavour to him, and there'll just be that chemical butterflies childhood romance thing.
Yeah.
You know, the minute you look at him, it's like butterflies and you turn to jelly and become a dribbly mess. It'll be that exactly I'm giggling in embarrassment kind of thing. That's when you know.
Yeah.
Okay. And I feel he's going to be tall.
Again, that's what we want.
And a bit arrogant at start. I don't think you're going to like him immediately. You'll be attracted to him because he looks the part, but I think he'll open his mouth and you'll go, oh,
Yeah.
no.
Okay.
Right? You're a bit of a... But
yeah. That's how things were with.
it will then develop. Okay? Doesn't resonate with me.
Okay.
Okay? Just saying.
Yeah.
All right? I'm happy to be wrong.
I'm happy for you to be right.
But yeah, if I don't resonate, and I don't know if Kayla's told you, when I resonate, my whole body stands on, my hair stands up.
Yeah.
That's my resonation. That's it.
Yeah.
All right. And I don't get it for him. It's kind of like wet blanket syndrome. So no. But again, your choice and whatever happens.
Yeah.
Cut it.
Sorry.
She's telling me to cut it off with him.
Tell me to turn the recording.
Yeah, same. I was like, no.
Like she's cutting him off.
Okay, Kayla says.
What Kayla says has to happen.
I'm a psychic. I read this myself. Sorry, keep going.
All right. Yeah, but it's just, if something's off and telling you it's off, you've got to listen to your gut. There's a reason behind it. Okay. Because we're doing a quick flash pan reading, is there anything you want to ask me?
Just more so to with like the path that I'm on and where I'm heading, and like Yeah, just like career-wise as well.
As in, you want me to name a career, or
No, as in just like, do you get anything, like any energy or any like anything about that, about where I'm heading, or like if I'm trying to say like.
Did I not answer that with doing your 3 courses will have you on
Okay,
your path?
yeah.
Is that the kind of question?
That
answer
kind of
you
way,
want?
yeah.
Or are you asking me to go, well, you need to be a PT and you need a direct line? What is it you're asking?
Yeah, like whether that's, so you said like you saw like PT courses and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. As an example.
Yeah, okay.
As an example.
Yeah. Do you see like an industry, or do you see kind of like an industry that I'll be a part of?
I get health and fitness, but you're more of the, I don't know if you're going to be PT, more as the beauty side of it. Okay. I'm not sure, but I just see you with people that look good.
Okay.
So whether that's a result of your PT, I'm not sure, but I see you with people that look good, but I don't see before and after pictures, which would tell me, in my lingo, would tell me you're training them, you're helping them lose weight, you're helping them on a journey. I just see the finished product.
Okay.
So whether you get them near the end of the journey and sculpt them.
Yeah.
Or whether you are like beautician or helping them to find when people lose weight, they don't always know how to dress, and whether you're helping them on a mental thing to actually acknowledge what they look like.
Yeah.
But I see you more beauty and on looks than exercise.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Because it's a mental journey for people that have been obese to come and lose the weight, and then so I think you're going to fit in there somewhere.
Okay. Yeah.
Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
What were you looking at?
Pretty much that.
I love it.
As soon as you said like something to do with a course, I literally I signed up for a course 2 days ago. Oh, and it's awesome. There's 2 certificates and then a diploma in it as well.
Cha-ching. There you go. And is it a standard course at a university?
No, it's a TAFE.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's all online too, so I don't have to go in. So
it's not your standard
classroom.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Good luck with it.
Thank you. So you're on point with that.
Okay. I like that.
Love that. Anything else that you see? Else that you feel getting?
Okay. In direction of babies and planning families and things like that, no, it's not a key role right now for you. Mm-hmm. Finances, you really need to watch your finances. Mm-hmm. They will fall into line. You will always manage, but you have to be careful of what you invest in. Mm-hmm. Okay, and what you prepared to put your money into. Mm-hmm. All right. So whether that's, if you choose to buy a property, you've got to really look into what you're investing in and where you're investing, because it could backfire on you. Yeah. Okay. If it's to do with like a company who wants you to produce, back their products or anything, but you've got to pay them for the privilege, be very careful. Okay. Okay. Because that might be a scheme that isn't conducive for what you need. Yeah. All right. So anything financial gain wise, you've got to really look into it and make sure you dot the I's, cross the T's, and understand the full description of what's going on before you invest. Mm-hmm. Okay. Money wise, you will always do well. You will always find money, but until you get on your path, it's not going to blossom. It's not going to thrive. Yep. Okay. Yep. So, and you've got to, when you get on that path, you got to hit that road and run with it. Yeah. Because you're going to have a brief window to really fly and make it known what you do, and people will flock to you. Yeah. All right. But you have like a small window, like 2 years. You either hit that floor and you get everybody listening to you and you make yourself known, or you're just going to be a day-to-day. People will hand you a name here and there. Yeah. All right. Yeah. It works on you then. Yeah. Makes sense. Makes sense? Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. What was there anything in relation to the career that helped you? Me too. That helped you kind of shift your focus and go, yes, I need to commit to
100%.
Basically manifesting it.
Yeah.
Because I feel like when I go and see Theresa, it's almost just a validation for me to be like, I'm on the right path and I need to commit to what I'm doing.
100%. It was just more so like, yep, this is what I need to be doing. Like, definitely focus on this and like take this path. Because I feel like I am going back and forth with myself about like, am I going down the right way? Is this what I should be doing?
Are you afraid of the leap?
I think so. Yeah.
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 So that's what you need to address. What's your fear?
Yeah.
Fear of failure?
Yeah.
Or is it fear of success?
Well, yeah.
So you've got to address that because some people shut them down because they're afraid to be successful.
Mm.
And others shut it down because they're afraid to fail.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And just making like a change too, I think. Just making that.
Did you also get validation that you need to trust your gut?
100%. 100%. Just in terms of like the relationship thing.
Yep.
I already know the answer to it.
Sorry.
I already know the answer to it, but it's just like when you
validation.
When you get validation, it's just another reminder, just like, yeah, like
Trust your
what you're thinking and feeling is right. It's accurate. Like follow it.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the thing is, my biggest thing with doing readings, just because I've told you this does not mean you walk out that door, get on the phone and go, I'm done with you, out you go.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. Who's the bitch?
Right.
That's what you're thinking.
Yeah, that's her first go.
That's her first thing. She's like, who are you with?
What are you doing?
But the thing is, you've got to let it die its own death.
Mm.
Literally, you just got to go with it.
I think we spoke about on the podcast last week. It's just my biggest thing that I've learned from relationships is just letting go of control and like learning to let go of controlling an outcome.
Yeah.
And like just letting.
That never ends well.
No. And that my anxiety like goes through the roof when I'm like that. So it's just like let him just with any situation, let people do what they want to do and let them show you what they'd rather do.
Correct.
Mm.
Yeah.
So
your choices are yours. Theirs are theirs.
yeah.
If it works together, great. If it doesn't, well, we try,
Yeah.
you know.
You don't have to let other people cause you anxiety for no reason.
Correct.
Yeah.
And like you said, you can't control them and what the outcome you want from them.
Mm.
Do that.
Yeah.
Just like everything I've said to you is guidance.
Yeah.
You know, there's people out there that will go to a psychic to make every decision in their life.
Mm.
That's great if what you're getting is the right information. You saw how my initial translation of a person leaving was to see a moving van. In actual fact, it could have potentially been the hearse, but if you know, it's just the way they show. Sorry, I thought so too.
Come on, Suri.
She wants to get in on the action. It's just the way I interpret it.
Yeah.
And it's working through that. But the initial thing was somebody left you at a young age and it impacted you. And you completely shut that down because you thought, oh, it's got to be a family member. It's got to be this. But when we came around to it, it was like, oh, no, it's mum's friend. So it's being open to everything.
Yeah.
Being open to everything. But again, like translation's a big thing.
Yeah.
And it's guidance. It doesn't mean you've got to live by.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, and people do. And
yeah.
That's when problems occur.
I think Kayla and I had a conversation too about it. It's just like not attaching yourself to like what you're actually saying. It's just like reassurance, guidance, and like we both know the path that we want to be on and what we want to be doing with ourselves and like the people that we want to be around and the industry that we want to be a part of. But it's just more so like, again, reassurance. I think everyone needs a bit of reassurance.
It's also letting go.
Yeah.
Because you're stuck on two ends and you're like, I need to pick. I'm not ready to pick, but at some point I'm going to have to pick.
Yeah.
And it's almost like just that reassurance. Just commit, Kayla. Just stop having fear and just do it.
Just do it. Yeah. 100%.
And you know, you've got the best thing because your responsibility is just yourself. You don't have children or, you know, anything that can hold you back and be a negative impact if something has to change quickly.
Yeah.
You know, so you're free to make these decisions, commit to them and create it before any major fallout potentially could happen that you're afraid of.
Yeah. 100%. I feel like we're in that prime.
Absolutely.
Prime time to just get it.
100%.
Like we're still young, technically.
We are.
No, technically, you're young.
We're young.
That's it.
And just, thank you so much for coming. It's I don't even know. I don't even know what to say.
And I'm just jerried with you saying that. The number 3, your grandmother brought through. You've got to do 3 courses. That's why the number 3 was important.
Okay.
I just jerried.
Yeah. Yeah. But you did say that though too with the courses. You said there was 3 courses that you had to do in sequence.
Yeah, but your grandmother came through and she's going, the number 3 is important. And you're like, no.
This is like, do you remember when you said to me, there's a ring, this freaking ring is in your face. Kayla, someone is getting married or someone needs to get married, or like, did someone there's a freaking ring that just won't disappear. Crazy.
Wow.
And what was the answer?
Well, I went and spoke to my sister about it and she kept talking about how she needs to plan her wedding with her husband. I mean, her fiance.
Husband-to-be, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because she was like,
wow.
Yeah, I went and took that away, and my sister was like, oh yeah, Andrew and I have been constantly talking about like doing, like finally actually getting married.
And this is how she will come through with 3. And I'm thinking it's 3 kids, 3 siblings, because that's what usually happens. But it wasn't. It was the 3 courses, and it's just jerried.
It just baffles me that like the second type of reading that I've had, my grandma's still coming up. My grandma comes through. And
she must be like your guardian.
Yeah.
Be grateful for that.
Yeah. I am. Yeah. It makes me feel
warm and fuzzy inside.
You took the words out of my mouth. Warm and fuzzy inside.
Yep. So the takeaway from that is whenever you're stressed, whenever you need guidance, whenever you just need a good old grandma hug, talk to her. She's got your back.
She's there
love
for you.
Her. Oh, I love her. Bless.
That is amazing.
Okay.
Well, before we wrap up, we just want to say a massive thank you to Theresa for stepping in and joining the episode today. You were our very first guest, by the way.
Yes.
So
did I rock or did I?
Absolutely.
The thing is, we actually spoke about, last week we spoke about what our life lessons have been from our past relationships.
Okay.
And we spoke a lot about intuition, and we wanted to we thought it would be a really good segue into like getting you onto the podcast about, trusting your gut, trusting your intuition, and just committing to what you feel is right.
Listening to your body and how
listening
it's responding in certain situations.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Trusting that the universe has your back, right? So
absolutely.
It's kind of linked, and that's why we thought after we did the episode last week, we thought, I want to get the psychic on for sure. So yeah,
the psychic.
The medium. What do you identify as, a psychic or a medium?
What do I identify as? Okay.
In terms of your
both, whatever you want. Actually, in this day and age,
I would put myself in the whole clairvoyant healer box.
Yeah,
I love that.
I'm not a medium. I'm a large.
She's a large girl.
I'm an idiot. I didn't get that.
I think everyone was like, wait, what do you say?
She's just a bit slow.
We got there in the end.
We just want to say a big thank you so much for joining us on this episode today. And while we're here, another big shout out to our listeners for supporting the Evolve to Thrive podcast. Your support means so much to us, and we can't wait to bring on a number of other incredible guests. If you love this episode, which I'm sure you would have, please be sure to hit the follow button. If you found this episode really interesting and really fascinating, because we fucking did,
absolutely,
we would love for you to share it to your IG story, and don't forget to tag us at Evolve to Thrive podcast. But more importantly,
how can they find you?
On Facebook, I am under Hands on Healing.
Yep.
Otherwise, look, hit you guys up. I'm happy for you to give out my mobile and they can text me.
Are you happy for us to put your Facebook tag in our show notes as well?
Oh, certainly.
Amazing. So just click on that and you'll be able to find Theresa.
So Theresa is also located in Melton. So I have gone and seen her for a couple of readings now. She also did the reading for Georgia. And yeah, if you are also wanting to, have a little bit of insight into the work that she does and you want to get your own reading done, we will definitely put her name and her details in the show notes for you. And that is basically a wrap up of the episode for today. Georgia, is there anything you want to say to our listeners before we wrap up? Or
that's everything. Just if you like to give us a like, a follow, and I think that's everything.
Guys.
Thank you so much for being here.
No worries.
Thanks.
All right, that's it.
Bye.
See you next time.